Congratulations, you may exchange your agreements. Your Excellencies, that concludes the signing of the Memoranda of Understanding between the Republic of South Africa and the Republic of Namibia. With your permission, Your Excellencies, I now call upon Minister Motshekga for the reading of the joint communique. Minister.
No, thank you very much, Program Director. Program Director, the communique reads as such. It's a joint communique for the fourth session of the South African Namibia Binational Commission, which was held in Pretoria, South Africa, on the 17th of July, 2026. At the invitation of His Excellency, Mr. Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, Her Excellency, Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, the President of the Republic of Namibia, undertook a working visit to South Africa to chair the fourth session of South Africa-Namibia Binational Commission, which was held in Pretoria, the Republic of South Africa, on the 17th of July, 2026. The fourth session of the BNC was preceded by a meeting of senior officials from the 14th to the 15th of July 2026, and the ministerial segment on the 16th of July 2026, which reviewed progress in the implementation of decisions and programs agreed upon during previous sessions and prepared recommendations for consideration by heads of state. The heads of state recalled the historic bonds of friendship, solidarity, and common struggles that have united the peoples of South Africa and Namibia over many decades. They reaffirmed that these enduring ties continue to underpin the excellent bilateral relations and expanding strategic partnership between the two sisterly countries. The two presidents reviewed the full spectrum of bilateral relations and expressed satisfaction with the steady growth of cooperation between the two countries. They reiterated their commitment to further strengthening political, economic, social, and cultural relations to the mutual benefit of their peoples. The two presidents exchanged views on regional, continental, and international developments of mutual interest. In this regard, they reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening cooperation within SADC and AU and other multilateral fora to the advancing regional and continental peace and security, economic integration, and sustainable development. Accordingly, the leaders underscored the urgency of accelerating the implementation of approved regional and continental frameworks, such as the SADC Regional Indicative Strategic Plan 2020-2023, and the African Union Agenda 2026, and the African Continental Free Trade AfTA. Namibia expressed its support for South Africa as a host of the 46th Summit of SADC Heads of State and Government in August 2026, and wished South Africa's success in discharging its responsibilities within the regional organization. The fourth session reviewed progress on the implementation of decisions of the third session of the BNC and subsequent bilateral engagements. The two sides welcomed progress achieved across the various sectors of cooperation, while acknowledging the need to accelerate the implementation of outstanding decisions and agreements. The two leaders agreed that future cooperation should increasingly focus on measurable programs and projects capable of generating tangible economic and developmental benefits for the peoples of both countries. Recognizing the geographical proximity, economic interdependence, and complementary resources endowment of South Africa and Namibia, the two presidents underscored the need to deepen bilateral economic cooperation. They agreed to promote greater trade and investment, strengthen cross-border value chains, facilitate private sector partnerships, and pursue opportunities for joint industrial development and beneficiation. The two sides welcomed ongoing cooperation in the mining, petroleum, and natural gas sectors and agreed to explore opportunities for enhanced collaboration across the mineral and energy value chains. They emphasized the importance of cooperation in exploration, skills development, research, technology, local value addition, and beneficiation, with a view to supporting industrialization, economic diversification, energy security, and employment creation. The two presidents reaffirmed the strategic importance of energy cooperation and agreed to deepen collaboration in electricity generation and transmission, renewable energy, and regional energy security, including by accelerating the implementation of the Kudu gas power project. The two sides underscored the importance of efficient transport and logistic networks in facilitating bilateral and regional trade. In this regard, they reaffirmed their commitment to strengthen cooperation in the Trans-Kalahari Corridor and other transport links connecting the two countries and the wider Southern African region, including through measures aimed at improving infrastructure, reducing logistical constraints, and facilitating the efficient movement of goods and people. The two presidents further emphasized the importance of cooperation in water resource management, agriculture and food security, public health, skills development, and public sector capacity building. They agreed that cooperation in these areas should contribute directly to resilience, improve service delivery, and socio-economic well-being of their people. The two presidents welcomed the signing of the 6 bilateral agreements and instruments of cooperation between the government of the Republic of South Africa and the government of the Republic of Namibia, namely, they signed the Memorandum of Understanding in the fields of employment and labor, an MOU between the National School of Government of the Republic of South Africa and the Institute of Public Administration and Management to strengthen exchange and cooperation to establish a framework for cooperative relations to encourage and promote cooperation in the areas of capacity building and public officials. There's also signed an agreement on bilateral air service agreement, an MOU of cooperation in the legal field, an MOU of cooperation in the fields of correctional services, and economic partnership agreements between the Namibian Charter of Commerce and Industry and the South African Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The MOU on bilateral cooperation in the fields of gender equality and women empowerment. The two heads of state, while emphasizing the paramount importance of enhanced economic cooperation between the two countries, welcomed the convening of the South Africa-Namibia Business Forum on the 17th of July 2026, noting that it is a strategic public-private partnership platform aimed at promoting greater economic cooperation between the two countries. So the two presidents directed the relevant ministries, departments and agencies to develop clear implementation plans for the decisions and agreements arising from the 4th session of the BNC, with defined responsibilities and timeframes. They further directed senior officials to monitor implementation on a regular basis and to use a midterm review mechanism to assess progress, address impediments, and ensure accountability for agreed commitments. The President of the Republic of Namibia expressed sincere appreciation to the government and the people of the Republic of South Africa for the warm hospitality extended to the Namibian delegation during their stay in Pretoria. The President of Namibia further invited the President of the Republic of South Africa to undertake a visit to the Republic of Namibia to co-chair the 5th session of the Binational Commission at a mutual agreed, and can confirm that the invitation has been accepted, so only the date and the venue will be confirmed. I thank you very much, Program Director.
Thank you, Minister. Your Excellencies, I have the honor to call upon Her Excellency, President of the Republic of Namibia, to deliver closing remarks. Madam President.
Thank you, Director of Ceremonies. Your Excellency, President Cyril Ramaphosa, President of the Republic of South Africa, and co-chair of this summit, honorable ministers, high commissioners, government officials, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. As we conclude the 4th session of the Namibia-South Africa Binational Commission, allow me once again, my President, to sincerely thank you, and through you, the government and the people of South Africa, for warm reception you have given to us, and for the conducive environment created for the summit, hence the effective manner in which we concluded our work. The 4th session of the Binational Commission reaffirmed our commitment to further strengthen our bilateral relations and cooperation across the broad range of sectors, including diplomatic, legal, economic, social, security, and defense cooperation, all for the mutual benefit of our peoples. This relationship is underpinned by a robust legal basis with more than 150 bilateral instruments between Namibia and South Africa, and the 6 we witnessed to be being signed today. And this is the most legal instrument Namibia is having with any country in the world. My President, in addition to the bilateral matters that dominated the agenda for our meeting, we also had an opportunity to engage constructively on issues of mutual interest and concern at the national, regional, and continental and international level. At the bilateral level, Your Excellency, I'm particularly pleased that with the renewed mandate, we have agreed to accelerate the implementation of the high-level impact project on the agenda of our Binational Commission. This includes implementing the remainder of the Presidential Drought Relief Program, establishing modalities to give impetus to projects or proposals that will address our energy sector needs, which is critical for our industrialization program. Your Excellency, the 4th session of Namibia-South Africa Binational Commission has produced outcomes that, if implemented, would contribute significantly to our efforts to address the multitude of social economic challenges our two countries face, including youth unemployment, economic inequality, climate vulnerability, and challenge to our food security system. Your Excellency, now that we have agreed to those decisions, the ball is in the hands of our ministers, supported by officials, to ensure the full implementation of the decisions of our binational commission. We must deliver, account for, and address the needs of our people. When we reconvene for the 5th session of the Binational Commission, we expect tangible results that contribute to the core priorities of our people. To this end, I'm pleased to note that this session of the Binational Commission has directed or agreed for our two countries to explore the possibility of using the digital balance scorecard system to track and monitor the implementation of the Binational Commission decisions. Accordingly, the system must be put in place as a matter of urgency, and our ministers have a responsibility to lead this process. Your Excellency, Comrade President, while we aim to convene the sessions of the Binational Commission every 2 years, we know this is not always possible due to circumstances that could be beyond our control. For this reason, it is of utmost importance for our ministers and senior officials to regularly consult and coordinate their action to ensure the full implementation of the NBNC's decisions and to address the new development or issues that might affect our bilateral relations and cooperation in a swift and effective manner. The line of communication between our senior officials and ministers must remain open. You do not have to wait for the Binational Commission or state visit to convene in order to communicate on issues of mutual interest and concern that affect the two countries. Your Excellency, Comrade President, with respect to the range of conflicts around the world, including those in the African continent, particularly in Sudan, South Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, Namibia will continue to work with South Africa and the other like-minded states through our multilateral institution to advocate for the restoration of durable peace in those countries. Comrade President, the outcome of this Binational Commission is well articulated in the Joint Commission just read to us at the Joint Communique, just read to us at this closing session. Therefore, at this stage, allow me to once again thank you for hosting us for the 4th session of the South Africa-Namibia Binational Commission. Further, allow me, Comrade President, to thank all the delegates for the constructive manner in which they have engaged and conducted themselves over the 5 days of the Binational Commission. I look forward to see you in Windhoek for the 5th session of the Binational Commission in 2028. Of course, as mentioned in our communique, the date will be mutual agreed upon. Always remember your second house, Namibia. You want to make a change, you just cross and you are home. Thank you very much, Comrade President.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your closing remarks. I now have the honor to call upon President Ramaphosa to deliver closing remarks. Mr. President.
Thank you, Program Director. Your Excellency, President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, President of the Republic of Namibia, ministers from both countries and deputy ministers, distinguished guests, officials of our two governments, and ladies and gentlemen. We have reached the conclusion of the fourth session of the South Africa-Namibia Binational Commission, and do allow me once again to express our heartfelt appreciation to Her Excellency, President Nandi-Ndaitwah, and her delegation for their visit to South Africa, their second home. Your presence, President, has reaffirmed the exceptional friendship between our two countries and our shared commitment to building a more prosperous Southern Africa. Even as you entered this building, this rather beautiful building, you did have memories of having been here on a number of occasions in your other roles of the past. We also agreed that this is indeed a home for you away from home. And we'd like to thank you because you were here recently at the SACU Summit, and you will no doubt be back here again in a few weeks when we hold the SADC Summit in KZN, in eThekwini metropolitan city. The report that was so well drafted and presented to us by our ministers confirms that this commission has achieved and continues to achieve significant progress. Our deliberations have not only reviewed implementation of previous commitments, but have in a number of ways also identified a new generation of strategic initiatives that will help to deepen cooperation across many sectors. The task before us now is clear. We must move aggressively from agreement to implementation. The action plans adopted today should become practical instruments for the delivery, accountability, and measurable progress. The success of this commission will not ultimately be judged by today's commitments. It will be judged by the factories that we build, the businesses that get started, and how our people get employed. The infrastructure that is completed, the investment that are realized, the jobs that are created, the opportunities that reach our young people, and the improvement in the lives of ordinary South Africans and Namibia. That is the measure around which we want to be measured. Our discussions today have reinforced our determination to strengthen cooperation in trade, in investment, in industrialization, in energy, in mining, in agriculture, transport, logistics, health, and science and technology, but more also on defense and security to defend our countries and our borders. We also look forward to concluding important areas of cooperation, including our work in nuclear energy, geology and mining, and the emerging energy industries. The opportunities before us, before our two countries, are quite immense, and they are plentiful. Together we possess, as we have said, the natural resources, the institutional capacity, skilled people, and the political will to build globally competitive industries that serve not only our own countries, but the wider African continent. As South Africa prepares to assume the chairship more fully and completely of SADC, we look forward to working closely with Namibia to accelerate regional integration, improve infrastructure connectivity, and to strengthen food and security, as well as energy security, and advance implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Together, we will continue to champion peace, democracy, solidarity, constitutional governance, and international cooperation. We remain convinced that lasting peace, sustainable development, and inclusive growth are mutually reinforcing objectives. Excellency, the relationship between South Africa and Namibia has matured from one founded on political solidarity into one increasingly driven by economic transformation, by innovation, and by a shared responsibility approach. It remains one of the finest examples of African partnership. May we continue to honor the legacy of those who fought for our freedom by building societies that are characterized by opportunity, equality, and dignity for all. South Africa remains steadfast in walking this journey with Namibia, and we are very pleased that we have a very brave Namibia to walk this journey with us. Now, as neighbors, as partners, as sisters and as brothers, and as fellow builders of Africa's future, we do believe that nothing can defeat us. I look forward to being welcomed by yourself to the 5th session of our Binational Commission. Until then, let us remain united in purpose and unwavering in our commitment to improving the lives of our people. And it is when we work together, Your Excellency, that we are able to see the progress that is being made to improve the lives of ordinary people in Namibia and in South Africa. So I thank you, and I would like to wish you safe travels, but you and I still have quite a bit of work to do to address the business forum, to go and meet people with real money so that they can come and invest in our economy. But other than that, I think it is apt to say, I now invite everyone. I know that Ms. Mason would have wanted to say this, but I say it myself. I invite everyone to a luncheon. Delicious food has been laid out for everyone. So thank you very much for being here. Everyone, our ministers, our officials, and all who have participated in making this summit successful, especially too, without us forgetting them, the protocol officials. They continue playing a very critical role, including security officials. We thank you, much as you push us around quite a bit, but we do thank you for all the work that you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. President.